Hi folks and welcome to Homesteader News. Been a little while since I put up a new video, so I thought I'd put one up today explaining my 12 volt hookup system and also just some of the appliances that I use in my cabin. And it's kind of funny because I get a lot of comments on my videos all the time, and people for some reason think that because I live in a small cabin that I must go without a lot of stuff. Well, the truth is I actually don't go without anything. I like my gadgets. I like my electronic gear. I'm not a minimalist. A minimalist is someone who just gets by with just absolutely basic necessities. They usually don't have TVs and stuff like that. Well, that's not me. I actually enjoy watching a little TV. I use the internet all the time because I run a business that involves using the internet. And I record my music in a recording studio, so I have to have recording equipment. And I like electric lights, even though I have backup systems for everything. I could do without all of that stuff in my system, but I enjoy it. And because I don't pay for any electricity, I sure as heck might as well use it. So I just wanted to kind of explain to people how my system is set up, how my cabin's set up so that I can have everything that any other house pretty much has. I just don't pay for any electricity. I don't like going without anything except I like going without a house payment, and I like going without utility bills. So first I'm going to show you what my upstairs, I've been doing some remodeling on the cabin, doing a few things which I'm going to explain later on, but I'll just tell you that this is the upstairs in the loft. Okay, and in the loft, this is where I spend a lot of my time. This is my bed over here. As you can see, I've got a queen size bed and fan over there. And then I like to watch TV at night. So there's my TV. And I think that's like a 15-inch flat screen TV. And then that thing next to it over there, that's an Xbox, which most people have. And I don't use the Xbox that much, but when my son comes up, who's a teenager, he likes to come up here and hang out, and he'll use the Xbox sometimes. Okay, so I've got my bed and my TV and my fan and, you know, stuff like that. And then over here, this is my office. And as you can see, I've got a printer over there. And I've got a recording, CD recording station over there, so when I record my music, I use that. And I've got all kinds of electronic gadgets up here, but primarily this corner is used for my workspace and office. I have a laptop computer which is downstairs, which I'll show you here in a minute. But I just wanted to show you I have my printers, I have my electronic gadgets, I have my little office space, and I come up here when I want to work on something important. Then I push the TV around. I can use that for a computer monitor if I want to. Otherwise, I just use my laptop computer. And then the bed. And then as you can see, I've got my corner over there where I can just sit, have a cup of coffee in the morning, look over a magazine or whatever. And then I have my clothes and some food storage over here and another dresser over here. And there's my front window, and I've got it covered up because in summertime it gets the sunshine comes through that window and it'll heat this up pretty good. So we keep that covered up there. Anyway, and I've got some storage cabinets over there, some shelves, a few things. Okay, so that's the upstairs loft. As you can see, I don't have any problem with room up here. You can see the loft opening here with the ladder. Okay, and a lot of people worry about, well, I'd fall down that hole if it was there. You get to where you know where the hole is, you're not going to fall down the hole. But if it worries you, I've got a board that I cut, see right there? And if you're up here, if you've got kids playing up here, throw that board down over there. That fits over that hole, and that'd keep the kids or anybody else from falling in. Or you could put it over there at night if you're going to be wandering around. You're worried you might fall down the hole to your loft. I've never fallen down or even come close to falling down that hole, because after you know where it is, you just avoid it. You know, you walk all around. And as you can see, I got plenty of room to walk all around the loft. Okay, so let's go downstairs, and I'll show you 12-volt appliances that I use. Okay, folks, here I am in my kitchen. As you can see, I've been doing a little bit of remodeling. I took out that big propane fridge that I have, and I'm going to explain what I replaced that with. But one of the things I wanted to show you here is I made a change to the cabin. I used to have this loft door over here, and the problem with that was that when I had the ladder extended down, then it kind of got in the way of my front door. I didn't like that there. So I moved my loft opening over more central and put it against this bathroom wall. And now what this allows me to do is I can move my ladder. And that allows me, with those hooks right there, I can move my whole ladder out of the way now so that I can go all the way through into my kitchen without my ladder. When I'm just here by myself, I leave the ladder down. But when I've got company here and I want people to be able to move around better, then I pull the ladder up against the wall and just hook it over the hooks, and that gets that out of the way. Now we're in my kitchen. One of the things that people always ask me about is, what about internet? And I know everybody's connected to the internet. Well, I am too. I run a couple of businesses and have a couple of websites online, so having the internet is real important to me. And as you can see, I have internet here. Now what I use is called a chip, an internet chip, or sometimes they call these a Wi-Fi dongle. That's this little unit right here. And it just plugs into the USB port. And you can get these from your cell phone service, and what they do is they work right over the cell phone. You just plug it in. You plug that into the side of your computer, and as long as you get a cell phone signal, then you can also get Wi-Fi. And how fast it will be, like this is a 3G, you can even get 4G if you want to pay more. But I get 3G service up here because I get a cell phone signal. As you can see, I get my cell phone signal up here. So my phone is also a cell phone, and I just have the two combined. I pay for both the cell phone and the Wi-Fi through the same service, and that way I have everything that I need in the way of internet, and I actually get a very good signal out here. I'm only about 10 minutes away from a small town that has Wi-Fi, has internet service. Now, if you do not get cell phone, if you're living a ways away and you do not get good cell phone service, you can also get satellite, and you can use satellite internet so that you can still have the internet. Now, that's a bit more expensive. But you can also get all kinds of things with satellites. You can get your TV over the satellite, so you can get your internet over the same satellite system. You can even get satellite cell phones that use the satellite system. So you really can you can live just about anywhere. Even if you're way away from a town, you can still live and still have internet and still have phone service and everything that you need like that. So you're not really going without anything. It's just a different way of doing things than other people may do. Now, in my kitchen, what I wanted to show you was some that I use both 12-volt appliances and I use standard AC appliances. Now, that thing up there is what I just installed, and that is a 12-volt fridge, okay? And it uses a thermodynamic plate. That when it is heated, it heats on one side, cools on the other side, and then a fan draws out the excess heat out of it. And as you can see, this is just a small fridge. They make these larger, twice this size if you want. You can see I've got it full of my stuff there. And you can see it's got a fan at the top up in here. And that's drawing out the warm air, and it just goes out through the top. The only moving part on this fridge is that fan. The other part of it, that thermodynamic plate, it has no moving parts. So just that small fan, which is a fan a lot like is in a computer, is the only moving part. And that runs off 12 volt. And I can tell you it stays very, very cold. And I use this fridge to keep my whatever stuff that I need cold. And I don't need a lot because I live here most of the time by myself. And my girlfriend lives downtown and has her own place. So you know, we don't really have to store a lot of food, cold food. And so that fridge works for taking care of my needs. They do make these bigger. You can get these twice this size. I went with this smaller one. For one thing, I can take this out and I can put it right in my truck or in my camper if I want to go camping. I can take this out and I can plug it in. And as you can see, what it uses is a 12-volt lighter plug. This. And you can see that this is hardwired into my solar electric battery system. Okay? And so I use this to recharge. And this is my charging station right here. You can see I've got a 12-volt AC strip plug. And then I've got that 12-volt plug. Now you can get these so that they have more than one plug. You can get these with 3 plugs on them or something like that. I just have the one because I don't have that much plugged in at any one time. Now as you can see, I use the both an AC strip, and then I have 12-volt appliances and I have AC appliances. This is a 12-volt hot water heater. It's designed for heating up about 3 cups. You can heat up 3 cups of hot water. So if you want to have hot soup or cocoa or coffee or something like that, I just plug that in, fill it up full of water, and that'll heat up the water for me. That keeps me from having to use the propane so much. So I don't have to use propane all the time. Now I use propane a lot. I cook and heat my water, and I cook meals on my propane stove all the time. But if for some reason I ran out of propane, I could still heat up water in that. Now the other appliance that I have which you don't need, but I like, is a microwave oven. Now, some people say, well, how can you run a microwave off of a solar power system because they use a lot of power? They do. This is a 600 watt microwave. And I got this because it's about the smallest model that I could find. And it's made by Haier. And I got it off Amazon.com if anybody's looking for one. But anyway, this only uses 600 watts, which isn't that much. And I can run this during the day when my batteries are charged up. I can run this and I can cook me up a burrito or fix me a lunch or something like that a lot faster than heating something up on the propane stove. And since the electricity is free because it's just stored in my batteries, I go ahead and use that. And as you can see, it will run. And it's running. And that's running off of my battery system. And it runs 600 watts and it heats up very fast. About 3 or 4 minutes you can cook up a meal. And you're not using all your power in your battery, but you're using quite a bit, so you only want to use that during the daytime. Okay? And then, as you can see, I've also got a conventional toaster. Now, you would think that the microwave or the fridge would use a lot of power, but actually, that toaster right there, a toaster or anything with a burning element, a filament, or an element in it, those actually use a lot more power than something that doesn't use a filament. So I very rarely use the toaster because it actually uses about 700 or 800 watts anytime that toaster's running. So that uses a lot of power. I do have it here, and occasionally I will throw a couple slices of bread in there, but usually I just toast my bread on my oven over here, because if you use a toaster or anything with a filament, it's going to use up a lot of power. So we don't use those very often. So those are just a few of the appliances. Okay, some other gadgets that I use and recharge all the time. For one thing, you can get these lights. These are rechargeable. And this one's fluorescent. You can also get these in LED that uses even less power. And this just has, again, it has the car adapter. You just plug that in, recharge it. And they make those for camping or for drop lights for working on your cars or whatever. I like to have one of those around. I have a spotlight that also charges up that same way. And then I have tools that I charge up all the time. And I have a set of Black & Decker tools like this. And as you can see, it has a battery pack on it. And I have a drill and a saw and some other small tools that I use that are all rechargeable, 12-volt rechargeable, that I just plug this into my AC. That charges up the battery pack, so that's how I use my tools. Now, I have a generator outside for using my larger tools, but I don't like using gas all that much, and since, again, electricity is free at my place, I just recharge up my battery packs during the daytime, have those ready to go. Here's another 12-volt appliance that I haven't tried this yet, so I don't know how well it works. But it's a 12-volt portable stove. Kind of looks like a tackle box. But what you do is you put a bread plate inside there. You plug that into your cord, and they say they work really well for heating up small meals or heating up leftovers or something like that. I haven't tried that yet. I'm going to keep it around. If I ever decide that I want to pull it out, I'll give it a try and let you know how it works. But you can get all kinds of 12-volt appliances that you can run in your cabin. If you want, you can run your entire cabin 12-volt using the appliances that they make for RVs and for truck drivers and things like that, and you wouldn't have to have any AC power. But I like to have a combination of both AC power and 12-volt DC power. Now, the reason for that is, with your AC power, when your inverter senses that your batteries are down below 11.5 volts, they will shut off automatically to protect your batteries. Now, you can still run 12-volt, small 12-volt appliances beyond that point. So even if my inverter shuts down so that my AC appliances don't work, if I've ran my batteries down that far, my DC appliances will still work. My lights will still work, my fridge will stay on, and those will keep working even if they draw the battery down. Sometimes I've drawn my batteries down to 9 volts. Now, that's not real good on your battery system, and you don't want to do that very often. But sometimes in the winter, if I go 3 days without a lot of sunlight, it might be that my inverter won't work, but I still want my refrigerator to work. I still want to be able to use my 12-volt appliances. So having both a 12-volt system and a 110 AC system in your cabin is a good idea. But you could have just AC or just 12-volt or a combination system. Now, you can see I've got all kinds of AC appliances. That's an AC radio over there. And then in my living room, I've got another big This is like a 25-inch color flat screen color TV. When I have company over, then I use that. I have fluorescent lights and LED lights. That's a fluorescent light over there. There's another fluorescent light over there. And so you can have all kinds of appliances. So as you can see, I really don't go without anything. I have a fridge, stove, microwave, toaster oven, water heaters, internet, cell phones. I have just about drills. I have all kinds of tools, and you know, I have just about everything that everybody else has. Now let me show you what that runs off of. Okay, what you see up there is my 400 watt AirX wind turbine, and we're not getting any wind right now, so it's not doing any good sitting up there looking pretty, but it's not producing any power. And that's the way it is around here a lot of times. But in the wintertime, we have a lot of wind, especially at night, and so that helps keep the batteries charged up. And you can see that's sitting on an old power pole, and there used to be power here at one time. When my brother had a trailer here, there was power here. But they came and took the transformer out, and I wasn't going to pay for them to put it back in. And so I decided to put up my own system. That way I don't have to rely on them. And so I've got an AirX wind turbine up there. And then attached to that pole, you can see I've got an air antenna. And I get about 25 channels just over the airwaves. And it depends on where you live as to whether you're going to get any air channels anymore. But out here in the country, we still get air channels, so I don't have to have satellite or cable TV. And that's what that line is that runs into the cabin there. You can see is a cable that runs off of my antenna and runs up to my TVs up there. Now, the real power system for my cabin is up there on my roof. And I'll have to get back here so you can see it. And you can see my solar panels up there, and I've got 580 watts of solar panel system up there. And you can watch my other videos, and I show you how to install the solar system, and I show you how to install the AirX wind turbine. And my power system runs over into that shed over there, and you can see I got a junk mess over there because I'm busy cleaning out my shed and doing some remodeling around the yard, doing some landscaping and stuff. But anyway, you can see my old propane fridge is sitting out there. But in that shed is my power system. That has all my batteries, my inverter, and my other tools, and my washer and dryer in that shed over there. So my power system all runs into there. But anyway, that 580 watt solar system, along with some help from that AirX wind turbine, is what runs all of those tools, all of those equipment that's inside my house. Okay folks, that's an overview of my appliances that I use off 12 volt in my AC system, and I hope that explains a little bit about how you can use just about anything you want in the way of electronic appliances and gadgets in a small off-grid cabin like mine, or a small home, or one of the home on wheels that a lot of people are building. You don't have to have a large solar electric system to run that. My system's only 580 watts solar electric and about 400 watts of wind power. A system under 1 kilowatt will run just about anything that you want to run in the way of small appliances, refrigerators and things like that. You don't have to have a really large system in order to live off-grid, and you don't have to have a really expensive system to live off-grid. Even a larger home can be run off a 3 kilowatt to 5 kilowatt system. And with the prices today at about $1 a watt, it's not that expensive to live off-grid. One nice thing about being off-grid using the system that I do is if the power goes out, which it does a lot of times, especially in the wintertime, we get snowstorms and windstorms that knock the power out. Other people will be sitting there without any electricity, but it doesn't affect my system at all. I still have both AC and DC appliances when the regular power system goes out. And that's one of the benefits of being off-grid, is that you're a little bit more secure in a weather emergency or a power outage emergency. Well, thank you folks for stopping by. I hope you'll go to my YouTube channel and subscribe to Solar Cabin. That way you can watch all my videos. And also please go to my website, www.simplesolarhomesteading.com, and you can get a copy of my ebook which shows you how to install all your solar electric system, build the cabin, what appliances to choose, and all kinds of systems for septic and water systems and all that sort of stuff that you need for off-grid. Thanks again, folks, and we'll see you in my next video.